Well, hello YouTube. What is up today? Beautiful day, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous here in hillbilly land. Just look at that. Other than this one thing right here, it's really pretty here. Who wants to go check out an old coal mine? Huh? That sounds interesting, don't it? I am on my way right now to go meet somebody, a friend of mine named Keith. He owns Hatfield McCoy Airboat Tours here in southern West Virginia. As a matter of fact, he takes you out on the Tug River. It's right over here, as a matter of fact. He takes you out on the Tug River in a 650, if I remember right, 650 horsepower supercharged airboat on the Tug River. Well, the river's up. The river's up, the river's muddy. I was talking to Keith and about, camping on his land. And I've camped on it a couple times, a few times here and there, you know how it is. I said, do you happen to, just out of curiosity, you have any place you might, suggest that might be interesting to go camping, make video? How about a coal mine? Okay, at this point my blood pressure's up, my heart's racing. He's only said 2 words, coal mine. And I'm ready to get out the door. I'm ready to go. These 2 words, coal mine, camping a coal mine. I'm ready to leave. Let's go. Is that him? That's it. Wow. Ah. Check that out. Do you imagine coming up here every day to work? Check that out. That was a kettle bottom here, wasn't it? Yep. It sure was. Wow. How far back in here you been?
I've been back in here further than I should have been.
Further than you should have been, huh?
Yeah, way further than I should have been probably.
Here, I'm gonna have to get a light. I can't really. It just.
All sandstone.
It just keeps going, don't it?
Yeah. Come on back. I'll show you.
Here, let me grab a light real quick.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, I've got 2. I got a cup. That is really wild looking sand, isn't it? It looks like a beach.
Come off of this from over the years.
That is wild.
See the crickets?
Yeah.
When I was telling you about crickets.
The bugs?
Yeah. No, that's cricket. I thought it was
Look at the coal seam. You can actually see the coal seam.
Yeah. Oh, look here where they branched
Whoa.
off. Watch your head.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Whoa. That is stupid cool, man.
Off that way, that room just kind of stops right there.
Huh. You're not even really that far in, really. You can see daylight. Still get plenty of air.
Not that far in. Well, you can feel air moving through it.
Yeah.
So that's why I went further than I told you. I went further than I should. But here's the old pillars.
Wow.
Holding it up on that one.
Wow.
See that?
That is amazing.
It goes back through there.
How does
it goes off here and veers off to the right, and then you can go on back, and it does the same thing.
Why do they instead of doing this, why not just take the rock out and do it like the rest of the room?
What do you mean?
To make that open like this.
It's a lot of work taking all that rock out, and this was like the main entrance. Probably had the pony buggies.
Yeah.
With rail here, the ponies would pull it out once they got it to this point. But
wow.
And that's probably why they quit mining this particular one.
This is so cool, man. I love it. Air conditioned too, ain't it?
Oh yeah. And in the wintertime, it's just warm. It's the same temperature.
Year round.
See how that wallered out there?
Yeah.
I think it's a bear.
Bear been laying in here? That's what I was thinking.
That was one of the little roof boat.
Yeah. That's how they bolt the roof up right there, ain't it?
Yep, old school roof.
Yeah. Drill bolts right into it.
See how it goes back around right here. And you can go right on, way on back through that, climb up over that rock pile and keep it trucking.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It veers off different directions, but I mean, it's might be a little bit dangerous at times.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It's been here for years, so I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of notice the fractured stuff don't walk under, right?
See those?
That's an old...
That was probably a tie that
Yeah,
they used
it
for
looks
the
like
track.
it. It looks like an old railroad tie, don't it? Something they've just cut to put down track to run. That is amazing.
Pretty cool one.
Yes, it is very cool. I believe I could get the truck up there if I didn't get lost.
Yeah, you'd probably be better off bringing side by side
Yeah.
if it rains or anything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That
You'd have a
Can-Am,
problem.
Can-Am territory, ain't it?
Yeah, but you could definitely bring your truck up. I've brought the truck up. So.
There's a couple old ties too.
Yeah, there's some old stuff in here.
That is amazing.
There's some more.
Ow, bumped my head.
I keep telling you, knocking off my heart rate.
Nah, I don't use it for nothing.
Pretty good hat rack. See, there's
Look at that. That is absolutely amazing. I was in a coal mine once when I was a little kid, but other than that, I haven't really been in them much.
well.
Why is
this
the
one-
rock stacked over there?
They've stacked it to the side to open this up.
Oh,
Might have been a guy which he's passed away now, but he used to come up here and get house coal.
uh-huh. Yeah, there's plenty of it left in there.
Yeah, that's, these little dugout places was probably him. He'd dig them lumps out and load them up in feed sacks and haul it out of here.
Huh. I guess. Look at that. Looks like something came out right there, didn't it? Kettle bottom, maybe?
Yeah. So it's sandstone top. That's a good thing. It's holds up pretty good. But
Does it?
yeah. Well, I mean, you can see this has been here. I don't know. I'm guessing this mine's was probably 30s. If I was guessing.
So 90 years old, give or take?
Thereabouts. And that's why there's so much sand on the floor.
Yeah.
This top. Feel it and see it just every
Yeah,
time.
it just granulates, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
I mean,
crumbles.
it's literally, that's why they call it sandstone. That's what it is, sand.
That is cool. There's old ties all over the place. It's like an amusement park ride or something should be in here.
And go back to the other side right there. See the pillars. That's the way they did it. And
They just block it up and tunnel under it, huh?
yeah, once
And-
they get the coal out, they block it up with the wood like that. And
Hold the whole mountain up with
yeah,
some wood.
I mean, you can't say it don't work because it's
Yeah.
been here probably 90 years.
Yeah, you got a good point. You can't deny that it works, can you? I don't know about crawling back under that big old slab there, though.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you're on that big slab now.
Yeah. The sand, though, is so... I mean, you can see different colored lines.
Yeah.
Like where you can see the brown in the roof and the white next to it. You can see the same pattern
Yep.
on the ground. You can see the dark and the light.
Just like right here, see the light
Yeah.
and the dark, and it goes back light. There it is on the ground.
Yeah.
Same way.
The ground is actually colored
Look
to
at it,
match
it
the
goes
roof.
and curves and goes
Yeah.
back this way.
Zigzags all the way down, don't it?
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is really beautiful. It really is. That is beautiful. Very clear in here too, isn't it?
Yeah. The it's pretty neat then.
Yes, it is very neat.
Like I said,
It's like a sandy beach.
I've been laying off on getting a hold of you to tell you about come up here and make you a video or something, but I didn't want to
What's...
disclose the location.
Yeah, you'd have people up here on your property. What's
Yeah.
that one? That's...
That may have been another one of them. That guy had tunneled around. I don't know, but
That's kind of strange. Why would you go see...
I don't know. Actually, to be honest with you, Leo, after looking at it now for a minute, I think that water has probably eroded that some to make it like that. See where it's run out?
Yeah.
You can see
Yeah, I
water,
do. I do, right there.
Water's run and
Yeah, the sand is wet.
goes both directions.
It
So
sure does.
once they cut it out of here with the cold water, when it's raining pretty good, may be a pretty good little...
Yeah, I see that crack there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they look for, and it has a hollow sound to it too. With I think it was a big spider went in there. Could have been a cricket.
Yeah, I see him. He's a big cricket right there. There's a bunch of them, ain't there?
Oh yeah, those crickets.
Look at
there.
that.
If you get ready to go fishing, I know where you can get crickets.
Yeah, buddy. Look at that one. He looks like a bat.
Well, there's some of them usually too.
He looks evil.
Just watch it.
Look at that ceiling. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Hello. Hello. Look at the lines. I just put me a door up on the end and live here.
Well, like I said, temperature-wise, it's this temperature right here.
Yeah. You wouldn't need heat or air, would you?
Right. I come up here, it's real hot in the summer. I'll stand around in here,
Look at
cool
that.
off a little bit. If I come up here in the winter time, it's real cold. I'll stand in here and warm up a little bit.
Yeah. Look at the designs, though. That is amazing. It's beautiful in here. Absolutely beautiful. The patterns. So can you only go so wide on a coal mine before you weaken your
Well,
roof?
I mean, that's the thing. The wider you go, the weaker your top will be.
Uh-huh.
So
Makes sense. Do you imagine, though, I mean, how you would even get up here to get to work? That is amazing. Got bird nests in it. And the old roof bolts. That is so cool.
I don't ever recall seeing roof bolts like that around the mine.
Really? Huh. Now that right there, I know what that is. That right there is called a fossil remnant. There was something was in there and fell out
Yeah.
at some point. Some sort of fossilized, petrified wood or something. I know a lot of times you'll find, like when you have these coal seams, and you know how you have that dust, it's like, you know how it transitions instead of this, that layer above it, I'm not sure what it's called. It's coal.
Slate.
Yeah, slate mix. Yeah, it's slate mixed. But you'll find a lot of fossils in that stuff. That looks wild right there, though, don't it?
Sometimes you'll actually see fossils in coal too. I've seen
Really?
coal with ferns on them and stuff like that. Yeah.
That just looks wild, though, right there. It's, the coal mine's butthole or something.
First thing to greet you right there. Ain't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. The line looks like lava. Upside down lava. That is amazingly cool, Keith. Thank you, man, for bringing me up here. Let's see, where would be a good spot to camp? Just to kind of hang out.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Rain.
Yeah.
Stay good and cool for the day. Nice and warm all night.
That is interesting.
But there's a place up here you could camp if you wanted, but it's totally up to you.
I saw one down at the bottom of the hill too when we first started up the hill, on the right where it looked like you'd cleared some stuff out, just past where you had that tree, set out that tree.
just past where I sit out that tree.
Yeah, there was a tree. Looked like some kind of fruit tree. Had a tag on it.
Yeah.
Just past it on the right. I noticed that. That looked like a good spot too. Real pretty. But this is really up there, isn't it?
Yep.
I wonder what the altitude is here. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Figure it out on my phone here.
Kind of makes you wonder, though. I mean, they had to be coming up here in horses.
You got a iPhone with a compass. When you pull the compass up, it gives you the elevation too.
Oh, I never noticed that. I used the compass on mine. So
It's kind of
1580.
bouncing between 1580 and 1590.
Yeah. Yeah, not real high, but pretty high. High enough to see across to the other mountains.
Yep.
That is really cool, though, man. I wonder what caused that right in the center like that, though. I mean, I know it's just the way it broke out, ain't it?
Yep.
Huh. But could you imagine, I mean, just you're coming up here on horses. So I guess you would have to just, tie your horse up somewhere and go to work, right? And then they're pulling them out with donkeys and probably taking it down. How would they be taking the coal down, you figure?
Probably had a chute sliding down the mountain. That's the way most places
You think?
did. They just used a chute
Really?
and it would slide straight down the mountain. But
So they would probably had something over here then, you figure, huh?
probably.
And just slide it right down to the valley bottom.
Yeah, see, there's coal laying here.
Yeah, there's coal on the ground where they've been working.
And of course, this road is a more modern road. They reworked all this around the 08, I guess it was.
Yeah, do they come up and inspect that every now and then for water or junk like that? I know
No.
some of them they do. If there's water coming out, they will.
Now this one's high and dry.
Right.
There's no water in this one, so I don't have to worry about it. But
Yeah, that one's bone dry just about, ain't it?
yeah, it never has any water. It's up too high.
It just looks ominous, intimidating. You know, that's your job. Which you worked in a coal mine too, didn't you?
Yeah, I worked at the
That's what I thought.
mines and surface, ran a lot of heavy equipment on the surface mine. I did some production, mostly reclamation.
That is amazing. It just looks so wild looking, don't it?
Yep. Pretty cool one.
Yes, it most certainly is, man. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me up here, man. I appreciate that. That is really cool. If I can find my way back up here, I'll put me a little tent right there before it's over with.
That's what I'd do right there.
All right.
Show you some more stuff.
All right, we're going to go check out some more stuff.
For a person, but
Check this out, y'all. We was walking over through here, just stopped to check this spot out. It's level, you know. Keith saw that muddy, just a muddy leaf, right? Mud on the leaves, right? See the mud puddle? You want to show it? Looky here.
Little bear cub tracks. These little toes right there
Yeah.
went right through the mud
Right
puddle.
through there. Here's one. There's one right there.
Right here. Here's, I mean, you can see where he walked. Here,
Yeah.
here,
Yeah,
here,
there's an old
there.
one there, ain't it?
Yep. He
We've-
walked right through it.
They've been hanging around here a little bit, ain't
But
they?
it's been since night before last. Because night before last, when we got that heavy rain, the river jumped up like it did.
Yeah,
and
it did.
stuff.
Yeah,
So,
it did.
It was, so I guess I'm saying it's probably last night that they were here.
Camping with the bears. I camped with the bulls last time. We camp with bears this time. Don't matter where you go, there's always a tire in there.
Yeah. I'm going to get those two out of here. Look at that.
That looks almost primeval, don't it?
It's cool looking at.
Yes, it is cool looking.
There's a little road that you can
Did you
walk
see that?
down.
Something flew by. Big shadow just went through there. Something, big hawk or something.
No, I was looking behind me.
Yeah, I can see from the gas well there, I see their line going down right on that side right there. Somebody's leveled that out for something, ain't they?
It's probably back in the mining days, because it's been that way for years.
Is there nothing underneath here?
Just a rock cliff drops
Just a
straight
cliff?
down. Yep.
Huh. Maybe using it to park equipment. This is just what? 50 yards?
Well, back when they were mining here, they wasn't
Yeah, that's
much
true. They
equipment.
wasn't using very
might have
much.
been a pony barn. And a little
That
rock to put 'em in,
could
but
be. That could be. That would make sense. You know, you'd leave all your, you know, leave your animals and stuff up here, wouldn't you?
yeah.
So you wouldn't have to haul them back and forth. Huh. Wow. A pony barn, huh?
Golf course. Train tunnel.
That is a heck of a view. That is really cool, man. That is a view and a half, is it not?
Yeah.
A lot of us, you know, we kind of get used to it and take it for granted. But then other people, you know, come from, you know, they drive, you know, all the way across the country,
Yeah.
you know, to come here and see this and, you know, experience
talked to
West Virginia.
A couple from Arizona, and they was like, "Oh, it is so green here." You know, I've been to Arizona, so
Yeah, it's sand.
and you could didn't take long to figure out what they're talking about. If you ever go to Arizona, but yeah, they were well pleased with their visit here.
No doubt. Some pretty places. I like that little spot though. Just kind of over there out of the way.
Yeah.
Just move right back there out of the way just a little bit. Those of you remember camping with the bulls was right over there. And his bull, man.
Boss Baby.
Boss
nicknamed
Baby.
him Boss Baby.
That's it, Boss Baby. I knew it was something like that. But Keith was telling me, I was asking about, there's a spot right here where the river turns. There's a real good fishing spot over here. And I happened to mention the piers right here that I pointed those out when I made the other video camping. You can see the pier there, a pier there, and another one over here. And it dawned on me, you know, well, why in the world would you have a bridge just coming over here to this? You know, there's absolutely nothing here. Trees, you know, nothing but trees and, well, dirt and coal. And that's what they were doing. He was telling me that they use this bridge, the other pier's right over in here, that they use this bridge to take the coal out of here, and there was a power station right down here that would burn the coal and generate electricity for the area. And I can remember shooting. I took my drone and got, you know, real good looks at the piers and everything, but I did not know what they were for.
There comes the goats up through the pasture.
Yeah, there's your goats over there. Where's Murphy? He's in the back probably, ain't he?
Yep.
He's the friendliest one, ain't he?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's the only one that let me pet him. And that was only when your wife was there. The little donkey?
Yeah.
He didn't want no part of me.
Yeah.
He didn't want no part of me. Your wife was over there and she came up and started petting him. He's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, they know those girls give them treats all the time. So.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. So I bet your daughters love them animals, don't they?
Oh yeah.
I bet they do. I bet they do. Anyway, just thought we'd stop here real quick and show this to you. The old piers here, I didn't even know it, you know, and they're coming over here into this, you know, build a bridge to get here, you know. It's like building a bridge to, I don't know.
It was to the coal though.
Yeah,
what they were after
yeah,
was
they
the
were
coal.
a bridge to the coal. It's a good point. And now it's goat pasture.
Yep. That side.
Have they all got names?
Yeah, them girls know the names of all of them. I know most of the cows, but not all the goats and stuff. No.
Right, right. I bet them girls eat that up.
They like it.
I can't blame them. I like them too. I went by your house, or went by your farm. It's about, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I mentioned it to you. I actually mentioned it to you. I actually went by his farm, guys, and started to blow my horn at his animals, you know, just to say hi. You know, I've been camping with them. They're like friends now.
Yeah, a lot of people stop and feed them and stuff, you know. It's not too many people have a, you know, farm or farm animals
Around here, yeah.
There's no real property. You come down one side of the mountain, through a river, and up the other side.
Exactly.
Just so happened there's a little bottom there, and you know, I like fooling with the animals. We got the goats, cows, chickens, bees. Bees is one of my favorite. I love fooling with the honeybees. But peacocks, I don't know if you got to see
I heard
them.
I heard them, but I didn't see them.
You hear them. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard them up there.
Yeah, from March to August, you'll hear them for sure. That's kind of their breeding season, and the males are always yelling for a mate.
Yeah.
And
I mentioned that in the video. I was camping over here. I swear that sounds like a peacock.
yep. Yeah, I got peacocks.
Really cool. Really cool. Anyway, thought we'd stop to show y'all that real quick. Well, we've stopped in Buskirk, Kentucky at the Quality Foods Bakery and Deli to run in and grab some lunch real quick. We have been all over the place running outlaw trails like crazy. We had to take a little excursion for a few minutes. We ran into, believe it or not, we ran into a dog back in the woods that someone had tied up there, and well, they were going to kill it. They were going to leave it there tied up to die, and the dog had chewed its way through the rope and was coming back down the mountain, and we tried to catch it, and Keith called his wife, check this out, and had her bring a bunch of Vienna sausages, dog food and stuff like that, and met us at the bridge at Sprigg, and we followed this stray dog with about a 6-foot rope around its neck, dragging the rope behind it. We never did catch it, but we did follow it until it came back out of the mountains and came back down into civilization where it can find some food. And the neighbor, Keith knew the neighbor lady, and so we gave her a bunch of, well, he did a bunch of Vienna sausages and dog food packs and stuff like that, and put them all out. Hopefully the dog will find it. I don't know what's going on with the bikes. All kinds of Harleys, one after another, just going down through there. But anyway, we left the dogs some food, so got our little good deed in for the day too. But yeah, we've been having a ball, man. Keith showed me all kinds of stuff, all kinds of really cool camping places I'm gonna go hit and take you guys along. You know I am. It's kind of like a kid in a candy store though, you know. It's like new outlaw territory. You know, the stuff I always used to do when I was doing tours was, you know, mostly sanctioned trails, that kind of thing. You know, you don't want to get people out and get them killed. So, you know, a lot of this outlaw stuff over in here was stuff I've never ridden before. I now have, it's like a kid in a candy store. I know where a whole bunch of new camp spots are. You know, it's like you don't know which candy you want to eat first. Oh well, I have to eat them all, I guess. A kid in a candy store. All right, we'll see y'all later. Be right back. We're gonna grab us, like I said, grab a little snack and take off again for part 2. What a slide.
No, that's an underground coal fire.
Oh, is that the underground fire?
Yep.
Causing that? Okay, yeah. There's one up on Trail 12 too. Yeah, I see smoke now. I see smoke from the coal fire. Coal seam underground on fire. See how it breaks it all up?
We're going to stop right here. Let you check it out.
Yeah. Get out here. That is wild looking, ain't it?
Yeah. This rock right here is known as Bridge Rock.
Bridge rock, huh?
Yeah. See how it
Oh, yeah.
together?
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's a really cool area, but we're going to lose it all because of this coal.
The coal fire,
It's been
yeah.
on fire for years, and
Yeah, you can see where it burns out underneath it and then
it falls.
collapses.
You can see that's a huge
yeah.
chunk of rock.
Yeah, and you can see the smoke coming up
Yeah.
right there. You can see the smoke from the coal fire.
Yeah, causes a forest fire every year.
Really?
Every year. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's Bridge Rock right there.
Makes a lot of red dog too, ain't it? I've noticed it's making some red dog.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get what the old timers would call bone. It was not slate, but it wasn't coal either. It was like
Rock mixed in.
Needed
Yeah.
another
Few thousand
million
years.
years to cook there to make it, but anyhow, then when it burns, it's like a really hard red ash, and it doesn't burn very well either. But
Yeah.
you know, that's when I was a kid, that was where all the gravel for the roads came
Yeah, that's
from,
what I was
you know.
getting ready to mention. A lot of the old timers would
Remember,
use that. Yeah. Huh.
And it ignited the coal seam, and if they would have came and put it out then, I think they could have put it out. I mean, they could still put it out, but now it
You have
would
to
cost
remove,
millions.
yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
got to move a lot of material now
Just to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had people when I did that video about the other coal seam on fire asking why, why don't they just put it out? But, I mean, so you've got a coal seam, at this level and it's on fire. That would mean you have to move everything above it
Yeah.
to get down to that level just to put the fire out. It's like an earthquake at sea. You don't, it's an earthquake at sea. You don't do anything about it.
Yeah, it would be tough you would have to remove it all to get down to the coal, or
Yeah.
it would almost be impossible to smother it out because it would draw air. You see how cracked and busted up it is. It would pull air through one of them cracks to get the oxygen to the fire to burn. So
Yeah. Now, I just noticed you can see the bottom of that tree. It burned it in too.
oh yeah,
And then the tree fell over.
Yep.
Burned the bottom of it clean in two. There's another one up there like that.
yeah, it deforested the whole thing. But see, it started out here and it's come around the hill, working its way this way.
Huh.
And definitely a lot of it.
Yeah. Now
Let's
hopefully
see,
that coal seam ain't that big, hopefully. It's wild though, isn't it? The smoke coming off of that thing just billowing up there.
We're talking about 17, 18, maybe 19 years it's been burning, so
Yeah.
it don't take a coal seam that big,
Yeah, apparently not, huh? It's a big one, ain't he?
Yeah.
This thing's rolled all the way down. Raspberries.
They picked all this up and throw it back over with excavators.
Yeah, you can see the big cracks in it.
You'll see they got it all right here.
Yeah, to catch it.
Yeah.
Huh. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of rocks. It's like snake heaven, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're a snake, a good snake, and you die, that's where you go.
This is the front door to Snake Heaven. So.
Front door to snake heaven.
Yeah.
Love it.
Downtown Matewan.
Huh.
You can see the mini mall where we were just at a few minutes ago. Matewan is right there. I can see the old seed
see the
store and
flood
stuff.
wall and stuff too.
Step over to the left right there. You can see Trailhead.
Yep.
See it?
Yep, downtown Matewan. So that's that tower we were looking at from town.
Yep.
Okay. So that's the cell tower too then. I bet we got good cell service here. Yep. I hear your phone going off. We got cell service. I'm kind of disappointed there wasn't no snakes. I know where one of those is. They had to gate it off because some idiot, they had them things up there, I think it's a microwave tower. Some idiot climbed up there with a stick and started beating them with a stick. How dumb you gotta be.
I quit saying how dumb because I think there's some people takes it as a challenge.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. We were just cruising along, and Keith looks over at me and says, "Here's you a good little, nice little camping spot." And I said, "Well, it's the Hatfield McCoy Trail here. You can't camp on this." He said, "Yeah, you can. I own it." A nice little spot right back in there, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm actually going to fix this little place over here up. I'll show you in a minute, but if you want, I'll walk out through here. This is actually a single track.
Yeah. It's a mean single track. It's 198.
Yeah, it goes down off this point out here.
Yeah, there's two meaner than this one, but that's it. Very shady, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got a serious canopy. There's some of that slate too.
Oh, that's cold.
Is that cold? Yeah, it is cold. That's a cold, right up exposed, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of what they call outcrop coal or bloom. Some people call it bloom, but it's,
really? Cause it?
Yeah,
okay, I get
where
it.
it's close, like it was on this point, but where it's close to the edge here, it's not as good a quality coal. Yeah. You know what, Leo? Some people are liable to see these videos and want to come and do this. We can overlook that if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time somebody, saw me camping somewhere we camped there.
They come into the stores down there or to the airboat and they say, "Hey, I recognize you. You're Leo."
Yeah, boy. Now this is triple digit, guys. This is means single track trails, and I can assure you this is nothing compared to what this thing has in store.
Yeah, good.
Steep.
Yep.
Very steep.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Has steps on it. Even with the single track, it's very technical single track.
Yeah. All kinds of berries and stuff.
Yeah.
I love it.
Olive tree.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah, I love those. And that mountain laurel. Oh Lord, I love that stuff.
The
honeysuckle.
Yep. This one's really fragrant.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're surrounded by it. It's all right.
Blackberries.
Yeah.
All the bloom.
I prefer raspberries myself.
I
don't trust blackberries. You'll be eating them. This one's delicious. That one's delicious. Then you get that one super sour. Raspberries don't do that.
I'll tell you what, there's gonna be a lot of blackberries.
There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. Look at that. They're still going. So is this the end of where we can go on that one? It gets wild from here?
It's pretty wild right here. They look like they've worked on it a little bit, but it is straight up and down stair steps.
Yes. Check that out, guys. Look at that. Steps with, that one's like, what, couple foot?
That last one down at the bottom, I'd say that's at least 3 foot, probably 4 foot step. even the single track has opted to go around.
I can see the bike line. The bike line's right down here over to this side and down.
No, they go all the way around these trees.
Oh, they're going up that way. They got
Yeah,
another one. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I'd go this way. I didn't see that over there.
But yeah, they do a little of both, but they've opted to go around over the side of the hill over there.
To dodge
so
this
steep.
little spot, yeah.
Yep.
No doubt. That's a wicked little spot. Guys, I'm sure cameras don't do justice to angles, but that's what you figure, 45?
It's pretty steep, and like I said, some of it is vertical rock ledges, and that's what really gets you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already on a steep, and
Yeah.
then, especially coming up, and then your front wheel hits it, and next thing you know, you're doing a wheelie.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them accidental ones.
Yeah.
But they look good, though.
Right.
As long as you don't hit the ground, they look good.
Make good YouTube videos.
Yeah.
TikTok.
We ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Go do it again, guys. Okay, we're bear hunting now. Y'all think we're kidding? We ain't.
Show them where he went up the hill there.
Right about yonder.
Right through where he went through
Fresh
there.
dirt, fresh diggings.
Yeah.
And if you look, that's a real good bear den. Probably one here. Probably 3 or 4 more in these rocks. Good Lord, look at that. Look at the size of that.
Yeah.
Just for reference, it's that deer track. That is wild looking. Big cliff. So you probably see bears up here all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I see them every day.
Really?
I got cellular trail cameras up here, so I see them every day.
Yeah. Found something interesting just out riding around. There's a big opening right over here going back into the mountain. What were you saying again now?
Well, it's an old drift and there's water coming out of it. That's why you see this little creek coming. That's where it's coming from out there.
So they do that to drain?
It's, well, yeah, they leave it like that to drain.
Okay.
Of course, this is old stuff that was pre-law and they left it anyhow they want it.
Right, right.
Now there's specific laws they have to follow, but they still, when they seal up an old mine, they put pipes in it so it can't like hold back, because you take and fill a whole mine full of water, and then, for example, if the top was to fall,
You're right.
we'd just squish the water like a pancake and blow the whole side of the mountain out, and you'd flood a whole community off with millions of gallons of water in minutes.
Right.
So they make them put pipes in to drain, so they're not able to catch all that water in there.
So the coal mine, basically, it's a drain that goes back into the coal mine at another location. And
it's the whole mine, the whole entire mine, because they will fill up with water sometimes.
Right.
And that's what happens. Like I said, they put a drain in them so you don't have that to happen, because eventually the top of the mine will fall in.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Very interesting. Very interesting. Check out this spot too. Look at this. Is this not about as woodsy as it gets? Oh, hang on. Where'd he go? Wild strawberries. I only see one though. Check out our trail. Two feet wide.
We were talking about red dog. I'm noticing there's a lot of red dog on this road.
Okay, did you see some?
Yeah, just let's get out and look on the ground.
I see a little bit scattered around.
Yeah. Graveled over with
That's it right there, guys. You can see why it's called Red Dog now instead of Blue Dog.
This is more into the Red Dog.
Yeah, I see it all through here.
Yeah. Right here where the water runs, you can see it a lot.
Yeah, you can see it real good right there, can't you?
But what this is, you know, is the old mine road that they had done with the Red Dog that you and I talked about earlier. And then, you know, as more modern times came along and they started getting crushed limestone, they covered it with crushed limestone. But the Red Dog is still down there as the base.
Yeah.
Of course, they mined this holler for over 100 years. So
Really?
yeah, they mined a long time here. I think that the railroad went in, I think it was 1908, I think, it might have been 1904. And the railroad come up through here.
Uh-huh. I think we're about the end of it, ain't we? This where your bear lives?
Yeah, he's on out through here. That's a
Keith was telling me there's a big old bear lives up here, big male. It's a river way down in the valley. Something going up right there too. Game trail right there.
yeah. Water running off the,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is that? Is that a rock?
Yeah.
Huh. Don't look natural, does it? It's like a little wall.
Where it fell off and just flopped over.
Look at those angles though. And it looks like, you know, a table. That's so you can clean the top of your table.
That's what it is.
Yeah. There's some thick West Virginia stuff, ain't it?
Yeah.
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 Movement.
That's Acadia.
You see him there? Hang on. Let me find a little twig.
Yeah, use this rock.
Yeah, Keith's gonna point him out with a brick.
Yeah. I'll show you where he was.
You see him yet? He's right there. Do you see him? I'm gonna drop this and he's theory gonna move. Nope.
He's afraid of you.
A little pebble. I don't want to hurt him. I just want him to move. Back in the rock he goes. Back in the house. He wasn't that big though, was he? He's like
Nah,
he's this year's.
big.
He's this year's copperhead, but just as deadly.
It's actually, I think they're worse.
Yeah, the babies, when they have that,
and they give you all they got.
that yellow tip on their tail when they're a baby. Yeah, he's juvenile. But he seems to know what he's doing. He seems to have the situation well under control. So we'll leave him to it.
But you notice how still he said, even
yeah,
you putting stuff all
until it actually touched him.
Yeah, and that's what happens. They sit real still until you step on them and then boom.
Yes, 2 snakes today. No bears yet, but we're still looking. We're still hopeful. That's some big old auger bits, ain't they?
Yep.
See, this was the shack that the men stayed in?
Yeah, that's something to get out of the weather, I'm sure.
Yeah. Huh.
Back when they were doing this, they probably had it to where they could drag it along as they were moving around out through there on the operation.
Right, so they were doing little punch mines then, right?
Just little augers.
Yeah.
You know, run these augers back in there as far as they could.
Look at the size of that thing. That one got a dent and a half.
Yeah, that's probably why they were left here.
Yeah, imagine what it takes to dent that thing. Now that. What are you doing, Keith? Door's over here, buddy.
It's
a phone pole.
Yeah, it's been on fire a little bit at one time.
Yeah, forest fire probably, ain't it?
Yeah. They've made the old lock and hasp and
yeah, the door here, look at that.
Yeah,
the hinges.
Bolt and pipe.
That is really cool. Really old.
With what they had to get by with.
That's the truth. Really old stuff. Back then it was probably state of the art though. We got augers now.
Yep.
So there's probably punch mines in that hillside somewhere.
Oh yeah,
They're just
fluff that has fell off the
Yeah.
side of the hill and covered the holes up. But yeah, that's what they did. That's what this whole bench is about, is they augered back under there and got what they could get with those things.
Right. Yeah, I can see some kind of an opening right there.
Yeah. Now that's probably where they had a drift and now it fell in. That's where they actually went in and mined, I'd say, because you can see it all the way up. See it broken way up high there.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I get it.
That's what happened there, but
So what exactly is a drift again?
that's where it's an open mine.
Okay.
They call it the drift mouth at the bottom, where, you know, like where the opening is.
Right.
But any of these old auger roads, you can pick up holes.
Yeah, you can see where that one broke right in the center.
Yeah.
And came down and closed it up, can't you?
Yep.
Coal mine under there.
Wake up, Leo. You get sleep.
Yeah, yawning. And we are back where we started this morning. I figured this would be an appropriate place to end our little video. Keith dropped me off back at his house, and I've started heading back home, headed back my way, going this way. Stopped here, just wanted to show y'all. We came out this morning way up and through the mountains up that way, back down here, down this way, up there, all the way around through that way, all the way up to Mate 1, back down, and all the way back down. A long day. It was a good day. It was a lot of fun. And just in case anybody is curious, the dog. I figured we probably need to address the dog real quick, because I know I'm going to get a lot of questions if I don't. We ran into the dog right over here. There's a bridge right around this curve. We ran into the dog on the other side. It had been apparently tied. Some idiot had tied the dog up in a mountain to die, and it was bony, skinny, and had chewed the rope in two, was dragging about 6 feet of rope when we found it. And we tried to catch it, tried to get it to come to us. It wouldn't. Keith calls his wife and daughters, and they came down here and met us right over here, as a matter of fact, and brought some food for the dog. Now the dog, he was terrified of humans. He's probably been mistreated. You know how that is. He's terrified of humans. He didn't want to hear nothing we had to say. Don't care if you got food, I don't want to hear it. Don't trust humans. We kind of followed the dog with Keith driving and, me kind of walking, and he's going to run from us. Well, he didn't run, but he's staying ahead of us, so we let him stay ahead of me, kind of ease him down into the residential area, at least, out of the mountains, out of the woods, and down into the residential area. Keith knew a lady that lives down there. I forget her name now. Met her earlier today. But the dog went up, and he's holed up behind her house by an old shed. So she's got food out there, and we left all the food that Keith's wife brought, and she brought out some food as well. And so she's gonna catch the dog and get the rope off of its neck, and she's gonna just keep the dog. So now the stray dog has a home. Yay. A little bit of good too, right? Had a great day, had a lot of fun. See y'all next time. Y'all have a really great day. We got another little adventure in the books and a whole bunch of really cool campsites for the near future to take you guys. Win, win, win. Can't beat that, can you? All right, guys, we'll see y'all later. Y'all have a really good one, and Leo out.